guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is So. For today's video, I'm bringing you a lovely little book haul. I say little, there's like 20 books in this haul. I went to London a couple weeks ago and I went to the big Waterstones in Piccadilly, and I also went to the Works, and it was way better than any of the Works near me. And then I also have a couple of like Fairyloot and Lumicrate books to show you as well. But my camera is about to die already, so I'm just gonna get on into it. So I'm gonna start off with the Fairyloot and Lumicrate books. I have The Red Scholar's Wake by Aliette de Bodard. So this was probably the last Lumicrate book that I got, because I did actually cancel my Lumicrate subscription just because I couldn't afford both and I prefer Fairyloot like in general. If I remember correctly, I'm actually getting rid of this book though because it's very sci-fi and I do not gel with sci-fi, and I just think that somebody else could definitely benefit from it. But it's absolutely stunning. It's stunning colour scheme, stunning end pages. Very cute spacey foiling on the front there. This one is about a bot maker. It says here, I don't know how you say this, so I am sorry, but it says Zyxi, bot maker, data analyst, mother, scavenger. But those days are over now. Her ship has just been captured by the feared Ricefish, leader of the Red Banner pirate fleet, famous for their double dealing and cruelty. The best she can hope for is to become an indentured servant and work out her days in peace. The worst is to be tortured to death for sport by the pirates who hold her life in their hands. Ricefish, sentient ship, leader of the infamous Red Banner pirate fleet, wife of the Red Scholar, or at least she was until her wife died under suspicious circumstances. Now, isolated, alone and unloved, Ricefish wants to find out who struck against them and why, and whether she and her people are still in danger. Set against the backdrop of an interstellar war against piracy and the five fleets' brutal flight to survive each other and the attackers arrayed against them, this is an exciting space opera and a beautiful romance from an exceptional SF author. So it sounds like it's sapphic as well. So it's kind of like space pirates. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Definitely not me at all. I think it could be really good for someone who likes like sci-fi books, but that is just not me. And then the other one I have is Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim. It says on the back, whoever controls the spice controls the kingdom itself. Lovely sprayed edges that match the pattern, and a beautiful sprayed cover with a reverse jacket. This is the Fairyloot one, and I believe this is kind of the same concept as Jade City, because Jade City is like, excuse the box in the background, jade is the substance and it kind of controls like who's in control, I think. But it says here, in the city of Kalia, secret spice magic awakens the affinities of those who drink the Mysra tea. With her affinity for iron, 17-year-old Imani can wield a dagger like no other, and for that she has gained a reputation as the next greatest shield, battling jinn, ghouls, and other monsters spreading around the sands. But ever since her brother was discovered stealing the nation's coveted spice, a telltale sign of magical obsession, and disappeared into the deadly forbidden wastes, Imani's reputation has been in tatters. Despite Athir's betrayal, there isn't a day that goes by that she doesn't grieve him. Then, Imani just discovers signs her brother may be alive and spreading her nation's magic to outsiders. Desperate to find him and to protect him, she joins the mission sent to hunt him. Accompanied by Taha, a powerful beast seer who enthralls and enrages her in equal measure, Imani soon discovers that many secrets lie beyond the forbidden wastes and in her own heart. Caught between her duty to her nation and the love for her brother, Imani must decide where her loyalties lie before it is too late. I think that sounds really fun. Like magic, spice, and beasts and ghouls. Like, yes, I am here for it. I think I have another one downstairs, but honestly I cannot be bothered to get it, and I need to get this video done so that I can put my books away on my shelf. But now I'm gonna get into the Waterstones haul. Also, sorry if the lighting is weird. I'm filming this quite late in the day and there's not a whole lot of light, and I can't be bothered to like rearrange my room to make my ring light fit where I need it to. So these will be a mixture of the works and Waterstones because they're not in an order, I'm just taking them off the pile. So first up we actually have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I caved and brought them. They were only £3 each from the works. So I was like, okay, that's a bargain. If I don't like them, I haven't wasted like a whole lot of money. I haven't read Shadow and Bone and I don't particularly get on with this series, like the TV series, but I've heard non-stop good things about this duology, and apparently a lot of people who don't like Shadow and Bone do like this one. So I have caved and I did buy it. So I do have both of them, and like I said, it was only £6 for the two of them, so if I don't like it, I can just pass them on to someone else. I haven't looked into it too much because I kind of want to go in without any expectations, try and separate it from Shadow and Bone and stuff, but from what I gather, this is about a heist and like found family kind of vibes, so I'm excited for that. We then have The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I absolutely loved The Ex-Hex, which this is the sequel to, but it follows the sister and the brother of the two main characters. Yeah, I don't want to like go into it too much in case you haven't read The Ex-Hex, but it follows the sister of the girl in that relationship and the brother of the boy. And it just says here, Gwyn Jones is perfectly happy with her life at Graves Glen. She's formed a powerful new coven with her family. She's running a successful witchcraft shop and she's mentoring some younger witches. As Halloween approaches, there's only one problem. Llewellyn Wells Penhallow. Wells has come to Graves Glen for two reasons: to re-establish his family's connection to the town and to make a new life for himself away from his father. But when he opens his own magic shop, he quickly learns that going up against Gwyn won't be easy, especially after the accidental magic-inspired and very hot kiss. While Gwyn and Wells are fully committed to their witchy rivalry, they're thrown together once again to deal with the sudden appearance of a mysterious new coven and Gwyn's growing concern that something or someone is messing with her magic. Like I said, I absolutely loved The Ex-Hex. The Ex-Hex followed the siblings of these two. They were like head over heels in love when they were like at college or something, and then he kind of broke her heart and she cursed him like jokingly, but because she's a witch and she was drunk and various other things, it actually happened and his magic got cursed. Then she ended up trying to help him uncurse himself, and the rest you will have to find out yourself if you want to read it. This just follows, so these two characters were like mentioned in The Ex-Hex. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this and give it a go. We then have My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I got this from the works as well. £5, absolute bargain. I haven't heard the best things about it. Every time I see it, I want to buy it. So I just took the plunge. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Maybe I will like it more than other people have. But from what I gather, this girl goes on vacation either on her own or with her friends. And then where she's on vacation, there is like a murder mystery happening. And I think she tries to solve it and the guy is involved with it. That's kind of all I know, and I don't want to read the back. I want to go into it not really knowing too much and experience it myself, but I haven't heard the best things, but I want to go in and see what I think of it personally. We then have Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. This book... Let me read you the sentence that made me pick up this book. On her quest, Mara is joined by the Grave Witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and a chicken possessed by a demon. Do you need to know any more? Really? A chicken possessed by a demon? So basically, our main character is tired of watching her sisters be abused by this prince and realizes that nobody is coming to her or their rescue, so she will have to deal with it herself. So she seeks the help from a grave witch who gives her the tools she needs to kill the prince, but she must complete 3 tasks. So she goes on this quest to complete these tasks and kill the prince and save her sisters. I think it sounds really fun. I'm really excited. I haven't read anything by this author. I've not really seen anything about this book either, so we shall see. Next up, we have My Chemical Romance. No, we don't. We have My Mechanical romance. Oh, so this is actually Olivia Blake's like writing pseudonym. So this is actually by Olivia Blake. It's about a girl who is actually really talented at engineering, and she ends up being forced to join a robotics club. This is where she meets Matteo Luna, perfect on paper, captain of the football team and the robotics club, who recognises Belle as a potential asset, even if they couldn't be more different. And as the nights of after school work grow longer, Belle and Matteo realise they've made more than just a combat-ready robot for the championship. They've made a connection themselves. But with the graduation approaching, their differences and what they want for their future threatens what they've built together. Can they survive nationals without breaking their robots or their heart? I think this sounds really good. It's a lovely short romance, and the title sounds like My Chemical Romance. So I am here for it. Okay, Olivia Blake is her pseudonym, actually. Her actual name is Alexine Farrell Fulmer, or however you pronounce it. I'm really sorry for butchering that. Next up we have The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, who is the author of Daughter of the Pirate King, which is also something I really want to read, but they only had the second one. They didn't have the first one, which was really annoying. So this is a fantasy, and it says here, after all, what better match for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen? Love, 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 love. So this follows Alessandra, who is trying to kill the Shadow King. I think she wants his kingdom for herself. Let me just read you the blurb. Nobody knows the truth about the Shadow King's powers. Some say he can make the shadows that swirl around him do his bidding. Others say they speak to him, whispering the hidden thoughts of his enemies. One thing's for sure, his kingdom is vast, and ruthlessly ambitious Alessandra wants it for herself. Her plan? Woo the Shadow King, marry him, then kill him and take over his domain. But Alessandra is not the only one trying to kill the king. As he dodges assassination attempts, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough to become his queen, all while struggling not to lose her heart. After all, what better match for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen? I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say that they definitely do end up together, but do you know what? I don't even care that I probably know the ending. I want to experience the journey there, you know? I want to read all the sweet nothing. I want to read all the sweet nothings and get all the cringy vibes, you know? Next up, we have A Gathering of Shadows by Evie Schwab. I'm not going to go too much into this because I brought this because I recently buddy read Darker Shade of Magic and we really enjoyed it, so we are ready to like go on to the next one. This is a lot chunkier though. Oh, it really goes to the end, huh? 508 pages long. I'm not going to go into this book because obviously it follows like what happens in the first book, but the first book follows a traveller called Kel who can travel in between Londons, and different Londons have different magic systems. Like some of them that have no magic, magic is frowned upon. Some of them have magic, some of them the magic is like feeding off of everything. But Kel can travel between these worlds, and he does so to visit like the royalty and whatnot. And he happens across a artifact from a London that is no longer in existence. It's been blocked off, sealed off, shut away because magic basically took over in like an evil way. And it basically follows him and this thief called Lila trying to get this artifact back to Black London where it belongs, whilst coming to a lot of struggles on the way. It was so good, such an easy fast read. I'm not even too worried about the size of that book because I know that I'm going to enjoy it every second of it. And the fourth one is coming out this year, I think, which is really cool. Next up, we have Electric Idol by Katie Roberts. I got this one because I loved Neon Gods, and I believe this is part of the same series, which is like the Dark Olympus series. But this one follows Psyche and Error, and it says here, he was the most beautiful man in Olympus and the most deadly. In the ultra-modern city of Olympus, there's always a price to pay. Psyche Demetrio knew she'd have to face Aphrodite eventually, but she never expected her literal heart to be at stake, or for Aphrodite's gorgeous son to be the one ordered to strike the killing blow. Eros has no problem shedding blood. Braced to be his mother's knife in the dark, he's been conditioned to accept that he's more monster than man. but when it comes time to take out his latest target, he can't do it. Confused by his reaction to Psyche's unexpected kindness, he does the only thing he can think of to keep her safe. He binds her to him, body and soul. Psyche didn't expect to find herself married to the city's most dangerous killer, but something about Eros awakens a fire she's never felt before. As lines blur and loyalties shift, Psyche realizes Eros might take her heart after all, and she's not sure she can survive the loss. Love it. This is a very... well, Neon Gods was very spicy. Hades and Persephone story, so I can only assume this is going to be a spicy Psyche and Eros story. It might not be. It might just be romantic. There's a lot of romance, I'm realising, and not a lot of fantasy, but I do own a lot of fantasy books. Next up, we have Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. I have been after this book for so long, but all my Waterstones had the new one, the next one. I was like, well, I can't read that until I've read this. We follow Hazel Sinnott, who is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry, and Jake Curra is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. And it says here, despite being thrown out of Dr. Beecham's lectures, Hazel is determined not to compromise on her ambitions. Without official lessons, Hazel will need more than just her books. She'll need corpses to study. Lucky that she's just made the acquaintance of someone who digs them up for a living. Unfortunately, Jack has his own problems. Dangerous men are skulking around the cemeteries, his friends are disappearing off the streets, and the city's slums are plagued with a mysterious illness. Nobody seems to care until Hazel. With so much on the line, Jack and Hazel must work together to uncover the secrets buried beyond the unmarked graves, in the very heart of Edinburgh society. So this is based in the UK as well, in Scotland, which is really fun. It just says Edinburgh 1817, a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. I'm really excited for this one. I have very high hopes for that one. Next up, we have The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. This cover literally draws me in every single time, and so does The Monarchs, which is the sequel to this, I think. But this follows a sorority which is actually full of witches, and there's a girl that we follow that wants to be the president, but she has a really deep dark secret that nobody can find out. And we follow another girl who wants to become part of the Ravens and be a part of the magical sisterhood, but the only thing standing in her way is Scarlet, who doesn't think Vivi is Raven's material, but when a wicked power rises on campus, the girls will have to work together to save their fellow sisters. And then it says at the bottom, someone has discovered the Raven's secret and they will do anything to see these witches burn. It's all about like sisterhood, sororities, witches, which I love. I really haven't seen that much. Like, I've seen it pop up in videos, and like I think I've seen it on TikTok, but I haven't really seen anything on like Goodreads that would like give me any impression of like whether people like this book or not. Hopefully I do. The last singular book is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. This is like Bridgerton but with murders, I think. It says, Bridgerton meets Peaky Blinders in this swashbuckling tale of scoundrels in society, crime and crumpets, as these enemies turn to allies and might just fall in love along the way. And it says somewhere, these women spend their days pickpocketing and blackmailing their way around the country, all before it's time to sit down for tea. Okay, so it's not murders. But it's like Bridgerton, but the ladies are like their own little crime lords. And it says here, yet this is no ordinary Victorian lady society. These women spend their days pickpocketing and blackmailing their way around the country, all before it's time to sit down for tea. But when Cecilia meets Led Lightbourne, her world is set to change forever, because he's a paid assassin and she's his next hit. Under the employment of the dastardly Captain Mova, who wants to rid the world of these lady scoundrels, Ned knows he has one job to do. But when he lays eyes on the feisty, beautiful Cecilia, he's faced with a conundrum. Does he kill her or fall in love with her? Doesn't that sound so fun? I just think it sounds like a really fun version of Bridgerton, basically. And I loved Bridgerton. And normally I don't like historical things or anything, but the fact that this has ladies, upper class ladies of like London in Victoria times pickpocketing their way around town. I love that. Like, literally love that. And finally, we have the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. This was £15 for 5 books. Okay, Waterstones wanted like £10 per book, so I've been eyeing them up for a while, and I knew that I could get them on a good deal at the works because I've been, like I said, eyeing them up for a while, and I just took the plunge. I may not like it. I have no idea if I'm gonna like it. I'm not going to talk about what these books are about because I think everybody knows. I'm pretty sure it's like a dystopian. It follows a girl, a teenager, who is locked away and held captive because one touch from her can kill, and I'm pretty sure there's romance in it as well, so I'm very excited. Honestly, the thing that drew me to this series is the fan art and the quotes that people put on like TikTok and stuff. I'm very excited for this series, and I really hope that I do like it. So that is it from me. I don't know what books I'm going to read first. I honestly have more books to order from like Amazon and stuff that I've been keeping an eye out for. There's a bunch of Olivia Blake's work that's coming out this year, so definitely keeping an eye on that. Speaking of which, I did actually buy Alone with You in the Ether as well, but that's like over there. I can't be bothered to get it right now. And yeah, if you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts on them so I can kind of gauge which ones I should go for next. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. Bye guys!